someone that you love in an abusive or toxic relationship and they won't listen to a word that you're saying? Well, today we're going to talk about how you can help your loved one who's in an abusive relationship. Coming up. It's often so frustrating and concerning that the people that you love will stick in an abusive or toxic relationship, even if you have been telling them how abusive it is and that they should leave. It gets frustrating and sometimes exhausting to be constantly telling that person that they're in that relationship and yet they won't do anything about it. Well, I understand your frustration. I understand that it's hard to see someone that you love stay in an abusive relationship when you know that it could lead to very serious consequences. The problem is that that person is in control of what they do, and they have them entrapped in this very, very vicious cycle. And it's very common to know somebody who is in an abusive relationship. In fact, 74% of Americans personally know someone who is or has been in an abusive relationship. Where you are as a loved one loving someone in an abusive relationship is extremely common. Do not feel alone in your struggle. We must remember that the abuser has been working very diligently in order to isolate them from family, friends, and to destroy their self-esteem and sense of self-worth. They probably have been told that you, as their friend or family member, are against the relationship, that all you're doing is spreading lies to them, and that it's them against the world. They use those types of excuses and comments in order to undermine your attempts to help them. They plant seeds of distrust in what you have to say so that they won't leave when you say, hey, that's not healthy. Abuse is about power and control. You have to remember that the abuser is in control of their actions. It is not just them losing their temper, have anger management, or drinking problems. That's not the case. And so they will do everything in order to keep that power and control. They have conditioned them to believe that only their spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever's abusing them, has what's best for them at heart. They will believe and continually go with whatever their abuser says, because they don't believe they have the control or the power to change their circumstances. So for you as their loved one, it is so very important that instead of telling them what to do and controlling them in where they are in their situation, you help them get their control and power back. You encourage them and you try to build their self-esteem back up in who they are. It's so hard to know exactly what to do. So on top of not telling them exactly what to do and controlling their actions, here are some things that you can do. Number one, validate their experience. Validate their emotions and what they're experiencing as valid and true, and that they are indeed happening. Validate when they tell you what's happening. Validate that you believe what they're saying to you. So if your friend or family or loved one comes to you, even if their abuser seems like the most amazing person in the world, believe them. It is the most powerful thing that you can do for them is to believe what they're saying to you. Because obviously they trust you enough with that information in order to come to you with it. So take the time and believe them. Just say, I believe your experience. I believe that you're being abused. Don't start giving excuses as to why it is that they have this amazing person, because you don't see what's going on at home. You don't see what's going on behind closed doors. Things could be happening that you don't even know about. So take the time and just say that you believe them. And really do believe them. Number two is to get informed. Learn all you can about intimate partner violence. Learn about the statistics, the signs, the warning signs. Learn about safety planning. You need to take the time to educate yourself so that when they're ready to be educated, you may be able to identify and help guide them in the way that they should go and learn, so that you can teach them what is actually abuse. Because some people may not even believe fully that they're being abused, because there are misconceptions about what abuse really is. You can also get informed about the resources that are available to them in their area. Get to know what type of domestic violence shelters that they have, what services. Is there free counseling for survivors? Is there free financial aid for survivors? Learn all that you can about the different resources. Call the resources. They can help you know all that you might need to know in order to help that person and to help them with their next steps in your local area. Your local domestic violence resource is going to be incredibly helpful for when you approach your loved one about what they may be going through. They may be able to give you tips and tricks and know the resources that are available to them. Not only that, but you can ask them what their friend may expect if they come and use their service, so that they may prepare them mentally for what it could be like. With people who are in abusive relationships, their power and control has been stripped away. So providing them all of the information that they possibly will need in order to feel confident in their decision is so invaluable. Number 3, help them create a safety plan. If you don't know what a safety plan is, we will have a video posted here soon about what that looks like and how you can help them implement it. Offer to hold important documents like birth certificates, social security cards, their children's birth certificates, copies of important documents, marriage license, marriage certificates, for if they need to leave quickly. Offer to hold a overnight bag for them, whether it has a change of clothes, toiletry, maybe some toys for the kids. Offer to have that ready for them so that they don't have to worry about those steps if in fact they do need to leave very quickly in a dangerous situation. Help them know that a safety plan does not mean that they have to leave right away or leave at all. They need a safety plan for even when they're in the marriage or relationship. They need to know what to do if all of a sudden their abuser comes at them while the kids are around. They need to prepare for things like that. Where should they go? Be in a close area near an exit. Stay away from the kitchen where there may be knives. There are things that they should think about prior to fights or things escalating to protect themselves and their children if they have them. Number 4 of the things that you can do to help your loved one is to meet them where they are at. They may not be ready to leave their abuser. They may not be ready to fully learn what domestic violence is. They may not be ready to acknowledge that what they're experiencing is abuse. So instead of expressing judgment on them and why they won't leave and questioning them and berating them on what it is that they should be doing, express your concern about that relationship and the toxicity of it without judgment. Explain to them what a healthy relationship is and that you're concerned for their safety. I remember when I was in an abusive marriage and I had someone I was talking to about what was happening, and they said, "I'm extremely worried for your safety." And that's all they had to do to really get me to start thinking about maybe the situation that I'm in isn't safe and I could be in danger. Remind them that they are in control of their decision to leave or to stay. They're in control of their lives. Give them that control back. I remember when I wanted to leave my ex-husband, and because I was asking permission to do pretty much everything at that point, my loved ones told me that I had the permission to leave, that I had the right to make that decision. And that was so empowering. That type of conversation of telling me that I had the power to make that decision was enough to make me follow through with it. So you never know how you giving them their control back may empower them to find safety and to make the decision for themselves. But with this, and with giving them control over what they may want to do, whether leave or stay, you, as their loved one, must respect that decision. Because if they feel like they're being put down for making the decision to stay when all you want for them is to leave, you're not really giving them the control to make that decision for themselves. Because all of a sudden they're getting backlash because they didn't do what you wanted them to. And that sounds a little bit more like control, doesn't it? So you have to respect where they're at. You have to respect their decision to stay and love them through that. Because they're going to remember who stuck with them while they were still in it. And you're going to be the person that they reach out to if you continually stay loving and respecting of their choices. Knowing that your loved one could choose to stay is heartbreaking and terrifying because lots of things could happen. You could lose that person. They could be killed or injured. Understand that you're going to feel heartbroken if they do decide to stay. But just stick with them and acknowledge that and allow them to work through it at their own time. Number 5 is to support them through it all. Walk with them, hand in hand. Be there. Don't make judgments. It is incredibly important for you to acknowledge and say, no matter what you decide, I will support you and I will stand by you. Saying those words gives them the permission and empowers them to know that they will have people in their corner if they do decide to leave. A lot of times people don't leave because they don't think that they'll have anyone, that they don't have people supporting them, because the abuser is feeding them lies that they're all alone, that no one cares, or that they won't be able to make it on their own if they leave. So if you let them know that you are there for them and you will help them through this, that is one step closer to them knowing that they will be able to get through it and that they can take care of themselves if they do leave. With this statement that you support them and you'll be with them no matter what, it tells them that you trust their judgment to make the decision for themselves. That giving them that trust allows them to make that decision for themselves without feeling controlled from multiple parties. Majority of the time, people who are abused have lost their trust in themselves. Their self-esteem has been undermined. The abuser often gaslights them, which makes them seem crazy and questioning their own sanity, questioning that, can I really even trust myself? Can I trust my decisions? Well, the person who I love says that I can't, so I guess I can't trust myself. You, as their support, as their friends and family, can help them regain that trust by being there and telling them that you will support whatever decision that they decide. And please, 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 do not take it personally if your loved one decides to stay with them or leaves and returns back to their abuser. Do not take it personally. They aren't doing it to hurt you. They love that person. They believe some of the lies that the abusers are saying to them. So they will return. And remember that the average amount of times that it takes for someone being abused to leave that situation for good is 7 times. 7. That's a lot. That is a lot of times. So please stick with them. Know that this time that they leave very well could be their final time that they leave. So just be there through the whole thing. And do not get discouraged if they continually go back. And finally, have conversations with them about what a healthy relationship looks like. Remind them that they deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. They deserve to be trusted by their partner. They deserve to be treated with kindness, not called names, not being physically abused or even scared of their own physical safety. They don't deserve to be put down or belittled. They don't deserve that. Remind them that they are worth so very much and that a healthy relationship would not include those things. I understand how exhausting it may be to help a friend or family member who is in an abusive relationship. It's exhausting and it's heartbreaking to watch them go through it, especially when no matter what you say, they still stay with that person. But continue to support them and understand that psychologically they are a lot more trapped than anyone could understand. Thank you as friends and family of that person for sticking with them, and thank you so much for loving them through this. It is a very especially hard thing to do, and know that you have support and you are not alone. And if you have any questions or need help figuring out what to do or what to say, please feel free to contact me at director@awakenjustice.org. I am more than happy to help, so please do not hesitate. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I really hope that it helped give you some ideas of how you may be able to help the person that you love in an abusive relationship. If you like this video, please subscribe so that you can receive more videos and hit the bell to get alerts. Thank you guys again. I hope you have a great day. Bye!